Welcome back to my car, guys. Yes, I have to wear glasses when I'm driving sometimes. And I really hate these glasses. The lenses are really small. So, hi. Thanks for joining me. You know what's been on my mind lately? And cheers, by the way. This is a nice, thick, large cup of cappuccino. I allow myself 1 cup of coffee a day for the most part, but it's a large mug. There's my art mug. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare. It says art comes from the art. If you don't know who Clyde Butcher is, he's a Florida-based photographer, black and white photographer. He's phenomenal. Check him out. He is someone that I've admired since my young teen years when I first was introduced to Ansel Adams. Phenomenal photography. And Clyde Butcher is right up there with him. It's C-L-Y-D-E, Clyde Butcher, B-U-T-C-H-E-R. Check him out. But that's my mug. That's Clyde Butcher. He has like a photograph of a ghost orchid, which I love orchids. So I bought this mug a while ago, and it's my go-to coffee mug. One of the many go-to coffee mugs. Do you guys have a favorite coffee mug? I do. I gave up years ago. I chatted with my husband because he and I drank out of the same coffee mugs every morning, and none of the mugs we drank out of were part of the set that we got for our wedding. So we just got rid of all the matching dishes and matching coffee mugs and just stocked our cabinets with the dishes that we liked, which was not to say that we didn't like the dishes we got for our wedding at all, but the coffee mugs, they weren't our favorite coffee mugs. They were these little weird things with weird handles, and they weren't personal to us. They were kind of like crockery. So we got rid of everything. I don't know anybody who uses their regular coffee mugs. Like, I feel like the mugs that come in dishware sets are pointless. So as you well know by now, if you've watched any content on my channel, I start a video and I get off on a rabbit trail quite frequently. So sorry about that. Hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. And most importantly, I hope you're enjoying your coffee or your tea if you're a tea drinker, or both if you're both like me. So something's been on my mind recently, and you know what it was? It was all started because it's so ironic. I had my first vacation in 2 years last week, which I thoroughly enjoyed, by the way. First vacation I've had in 2 years. It's been fantastic, a great respite. I went and toured the colors, the autumn color change in the area where I live, and it was phenomenal and breathtaking. So, and I also got a chance to get outside and do a lot of hiking and a lot of rock picking and a lot of painting and just photography and you name it, all kinds of just relaxation and fun and outdoors time. So while I was on vacation, I went to one of the state parks in my state, and it is 300 miles from where we live. It's a little ways away. And it's kind of a little bit of a mountainous region, and there's lots of great rivers and waterfalls in the area to explore, and it was phenomenal. And while we were there, we were hiking along a river, and we stopped at a waterfall to take pictures, and lo and behold, I recognize someone at this waterfall, and I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, 300 miles away, I run into someone I know, right? That happens all the time. I recognized this woman, and because I'm not super shy, I just said to her, I go, where do I know you from? I go, I think I know you. And she said, oh yeah. And it turns out she's the mother of one of my former coworkers in HR job I had a while ago. On our HR team, this girl that I worked with, she was at a different location. We were the same level, same job title, and we had 1 or 2 other people as well on our team, on our HR team, because we had different locations at this company. and I was at one location, she was at another location, and so on and so forth. And the HR director didn't have one specific place that she worked at. She kind of oversaw all of us. And anyway, this one girl that I worked with that had the same job as me at a different location, I ran into her mom. And I said, oh, hi, it's so good to see you. It's so funny that we had all this small talk conversation, and wow, what a small world it was. And then we said, have a great vacation to each other, and went our separate ways. Then a couple days later, I remembered that I had run into this girl's mom. And what's weirder is before I ran into her, I had taken a picture of my son on a set of steps near the waterfall, and in the background is this ex-coworker of mine, her parents, that I didn't see prior to actually going to the waterfalls. It was like a complete fluke that I got a picture of her parents in my picture of my son. It was hysterical, but I didn't notice it until I started zooming in and editing and cropping the photo. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's her parents, the ones we wound up running into. It was so funny. So I texted her the picture and I said, check this out, look who I ran into. But this was a couple of days after I had run into her parents. Well, this ex-coworker of mine, she responds, isn't that funny? And that was it. That's all she said about that. But then she goes, I'm in Florida right now, St. Augustine, for work. And then she said, pretty sweet perk, huh? And my response when I read that text was, okay, that was random. Like, she didn't really respond about me running into her parents at the state park 300 miles away from where we live. And you know what it felt like to me? It felt to me like she was very jealous of me being on vacation and going on color tour while she was stuck in Florida. I say stuck in Florida because we had always used to joke about how stressful, like an open enrollment, getting employees enrolled in insurance and stuff. And so I thought it was kind of weird, and it almost stood out to me as she was being very obvious. That's how it felt to me, that she was trying to one up me by saying she's in Florida and what a great perk, because on her social media, she always, and when I say always, I like 5 times a day, she posts something about how stressed she is. And I remember that job being very stressful. So I know exactly what she's talking about, and I know how stressful it is, and I know that she's not happy there. But she's trying to pretend she's happy. And it was evidenced by the fact that she, instead of responding about how cool it was that I ran into her parents or what a small world it was and just leaving it at that, she had to turn the attention away from the fact that I ran into her mom at this place while I was on vacation, but she had to put it back on herself and say how cool it was that she was in Florida doing this thing for work and basically getting a paid vacation, which was like, oh, I hesitated responding to her. It sucks to be you. I had to hesitate and bite my tongue to not respond that, because it was like, I know what you're going through right now. I know how stressed you are, and I know how you are not truly on vacation. And it felt to me like she was jealous of me because I was on vacation. Though I didn't make a point to say that to her or brag about it, I sent her the picture of her parents. Well, it was a picture of my son. Her parents just happened to be in the background, and tell her, guess who I ran into at the state park? Your parents. And the reason I sent it to her is how funny and ironic it was, and how light, not to brag about my vacation, not to brag about how stress-free I was and how happy I was or something like that. But I saw right through her response. And that's what's been kind of on my mind lately, is this, I don't know, and I presume that it does have something to do with the fact that I'm healthier, and the healthier I get, the more I can read people, or the better. I've always been able to read people really well and pick up on their emotional vibes, but now I actually hear what they say too, and I can pick up on other vibes, even in text. Not to say that I'm 100% accurate all the time, But that response of hers was absolutely not innocent. There was something in that response. And I'm not sure that it was jealousy, but it felt like jealousy. It didn't seem like an innocent, oh my gosh, that's so funny. What a small world. My parents had a great vacation. My mom was out taking pictures. They went to waterfalls, blah, blah, blah. Nothing about that I ran into them, or her asking me about my vacation. Oh my gosh, are you on vacation? Are you on color tour? How long are you off? Have a great vacation. What are you guys doing? You know, this is what my parents are doing. Nothing about me or her parents or the fact that we were both on this vacation at the same time and ran into each other. She just completely did a reversal, like a hockey move. It was just a complete reversal. And I was like, huh? I mean, I texted her with this intent to say, isn't this cool? I ran into your parents and I got in return this, oh yeah, but look what I'm doing. You know, that's what it felt like to me. And that bugs me. It's kind of one of those things where even though I'm in contact with her, it tells me where she's at. And I know it was just a text. I'm not going to read into it too much because it was just a text, you know, but this girl is the same girl. I don't know if you remember way back in a video I did about human resources, because that's my background. But I posted a video a while ago, a couple months ago, that had to do with my issues with HR and some of the things I struggled with. And this was the coworker who, once I came up with, I was dropped a bomb a couple months after I started that job. And I had to plan the company's Christmas party. Have never done this before, wasn't given a budget, no feedback, no assistant, no committee. I just was assigned with this Christmas party. And I actually never got to enjoy the Christmas party because I had planned it and put it on for the company, you know, 200 people, 100 employees plus guests. And this coworker of mine purposely planned her Christmas party after mine and stole my itinerary, stole my plan, used all the stuff I purchased, all the door prizes, the games, everything. She mimicked her company's Christmas party after mine. I did all the work for both companies, essentially. She just took all of my ideas because I already had them done. So I wouldn't say that she and I are friends anyway, because that's just a skeevy thing to do, but that shows the kind of character that she's got. I'll be honest with you, her mom seems like a sweetheart, but after I met her dad for the very first time, I'm pretty sure I know where she gets it. It's a crying shame. I try to be kind about people. I try to be understanding and not judgmental. I really do. But it's hard to not be judgmental of people and also make sure that you're developing relationships, healthy relationships with the right people, and keeping others that you're picking up bad vibes from at an arm's length. There's a certain amount of judgment that has to go into your perception of people and relationships. Unfortunately, you just don't want to be too harsh or critical or condemning of them. Like I said, this girl, I'm fine with her as an acquaintance, but that's as far as it's going to go. But I thought that text was kind of funny. Have you guys ever had that happen to you where you kind of text someone with one intention and they turn it completely around and respond with something else, and you're kind of like going, what the heck just happened? I mean, it happens in real person too, in conversations or on the phone too. If you have had this happen to you, you understand where I'm coming from. But in any case, that's just what's been on my mind lately, and I'm sure you've had it happen to you. But I hope you guys take care of yourselves today and have an awesome week. Bye.